I need to figure out how to set up my laptop to where I can actually look at my dialogue while I'm actually saying it. You know, this old teleprompter thing.
I don't know what you want me to do.
You know, man, you can be a lot more helpful when it comes to these things.
I don't know. What do you want me to do? Just, hold my mouth open and then, put the laptop inside me and then just hold it in there with my mouth and, yeah, that's a really good idea. Really good idea. I'm totally on board with this. I think that would be a spectacularly good. Wait, what are you doing? No, I was kidding. No.
If you want to draw people in with beautiful imagery, you gotta have good shot composition. Hello, my name is Dennis Reslin, and this is The Real Project. Shot composition is a simple way of conveying important information to the audience without the need of harsh explanation, and on top of that, you can create stunning works of art through your imagery. When it comes to films that I like for the shot composition and framing, I look to the works of Stanley Kubrick and Wes Anderson. As a few examples, I have a few right here. These two are masters of perfect framing. And just from the images you can see here, you can definitely tell that some of the images that they have created are downright gorgeous. While Kubrick is meant to be more precise and have a lot going on in the background and have really depthy images and all that stuff, Wes Anderson invokes more of a storybook vibe, with a little bit flatter images, a little bit more color to them, but still looking equally as beautiful as Kubrick's. But what if I were to tell you that these masters' works can be replicated as well as you can put your own spin on them? It is absolutely possible with the rule of thirds. Let's get to the next section. The rule of thirds is a great way of setting up your images. Splitting up your image into a 9-panel grid, you can use these lines on the grid to set up your images in a certain way to give you a certain look. Mainly just on your preference or anything like that. Or if you're wanting to mimic other people's work and eventually evolve that into your own, you can use this and it's so great. Like, I love using something like this for my own stuff. It really helps me set up my images and just is a great way of getting the image that you want. I remember back in the day whenever I had another channel, I forget what it was called, it was like Reslin's Reviews or something like that. The videos aren't on here anymore. I think the channel got deleted for some strange odd reason or something like that. But there was a few places on there that I would use these little video segments that would be pretty much like my own interpretation of certain scenes, and pretty much what I would do is I would use the 9x9, I'd use the 9-panel grid to set up these shots to make them look almost identical to like certain films and all that stuff. Or I would kind of put my own spin on it a bit. You can see from this first image where I'm pretty much looking off into the distance here, you can tell that the focus of the image is on the left side. So I was able to use the lines to pretty much mark where my head would be, and essentially I would pretty much look off into the distance and it would give you the sense of wonder, and as immediately your focus is drawn to that side. It's kind of like with the lighting stuff that I used in pretty much the second episode, which if you want to go check that out, that video is just right on my channel, just second episode. But yeah, like you can tell with the use of the framing and the lighting, it made the image just look so great. It's probably one of my personal favorites. Another one that I used the rule of thirds for was in this window shot. And what I did was that I had the lines pretty much just mark up with the windows, those sides and all that stuff, just all the vertical lines of the windows. I would have the grid pretty much set up with that. And then of course the little blinds and all that stuff, I would pretty much use the horizontal lines to pretty much match that up. And as you can see, it looks just like symmetrical. like, of course I have a lot of like Kubrick leanings whenever it comes to my own cinematography. So I liked those symmetrical images and all that stuff, and it popped. Now this is going to be a short section because there's really not a whole ton to really talk about here. I mean, there is other things I could talk about with depth of field. Just put them down in the comments, just tell me, and I will make an updated video on this. But of course, utilizing depth of field is a really cool way of getting some interesting shots. You can use the focus to really just make your shots look really nice and dynamic and all that stuff. Essentially what you do is that you pretty much just grab a little piece on the front of the lens and you twist it. And what it'll do is that it'll bring things into focus or take them out of focus. Like let's say for here, we have pretty much my bed. Here what we will do is we'll turn it a little bit and pretty much the front post will be in focus while the rest of the background will be out of focus. But if we do the little opposite thing here and twist it again in the other direction, the frame will be out of focus, but the rest of the background will be in focus. It's pretty simple and self-explanatory, and you can do a lot with this little technique. Well, that's all I have for today. It's a bit of a short episode, but most of the stuff here I didn't feel like would just needed a whole ton of explanation, and it was pretty simple and self-explanatory, but very important to know. So, and of course, if I missed anything and if I need to make an updated video, just tell me. Just shoot them my way. Just go to my Twitter, go to my Instagram,
If I had one,
and my YouTube, and pretty much just tell me what I need to do, if there's anything that I missed or anything like that, or if you just have other videos that you want to see. Just comment there and just let me know. And of course, my name is Dennis Breslin, and as I've said before as well, this is The Real Project. See you in episode 5, guys.